Hello guys, welcome to my new video. In this one, we're going to work on a new Mentalcore kick. As you can see here, and I'm starting with a Serum plugin, and I'm going to take on a little basic preset by name, Dirty Kick. You can find it pretty easily there, and it's a good starting point for distortion and affecting. As you can see, you can completely change the shape of the sound with this filter shaping. And here you can see that with little of cutoff tweaks, you can get closer to hardcore pep style of kicks, but it's not my goal here. Even though I personally want to have a little of hardcore influence in my kicks. I will show you my FX rack later. I have built it similarly like in my previous video. This is the most important element perhaps. LFO shape. It's what makes a real difference in a way, your kick sounds and punches. Trying to achieve punchy kick drum, and at this point, we could sample already this kick. And with some additional layering, probably achieve fine results. But let's mess with it a little more, as I want to achieve a little more unique result, and what I'm looking for as well is strong mid-bass. And it's especially that distorted bass sound, which makes the whole impression of the track often. I have some presets for our mixer pre-created. It's a real time saver, honestly. As you can see, I don't have that many plugins in there, and I will just mess with them a little, adjust them to this specific sound, and see what I can do with it. At this point, I would advise you to resample again with each significant change you do, as then you will end up with many variations of your kick drum, which you can use later for your composition, and it can be really useful.
A few moments later.
Okay, now the distortion part. I'm using Filter Bank 3 most of the time, even though it's a little too hardcore, but after some tweaks, you can achieve interesting result. A little bit of saturation. This plug I just started using recently, but it has some interesting presets. So at this stage, it's a good time to mess with the distortion. Or add another one layer, a few more plugins on top of each other. Yes, this is what I am talking about. A little bit harder, but for Acidcore, Mentalcore, and anything like that, it's actually a pretty solid start. I am having difficulties actually to find better plugin for distortion. So if you have any tips, leave them in comments, please. This one takes a really lot of care. So you can see every slight change on a low-pass filter results in different sound. And it's a good idea as well to automate these filters if you are going to stay with certain sound. Using automation, you can develop kick later in progression of your track, or you can use it for effects as well. I mean, you can create amazing effects actually with this technique. What I'm trying to achieve here is strong kick drum, which remains punchy in the sound because you can have a powerful bass line, but a kick can be lost in the sound easily. So it's important to preserve it in this style of electronic music, and it will pay off, especially on those large sound system speakers. You see, and this is the real fun. When you think you almost completely destroyed the sound, and it sounds almost unusable. And then with just simple change of the LFO shape of your input sound, and you can actually end up with what you were looking for in the first place, without even knowing, like in my case. Right here, I mean, this is already a pretty solid kick, I think. You can easily use these in some track. This is what I was talking about. Unique sound as such will always pop up. And in this style of music, kick drum is essential. So using sample packs doesn't really make sense in my opinion. With just very simple movement, I can create additional kicks, which would be useful in different parts of the final comp. You can also always try layering kicks on top of each other, but in this case, I think it's better to stay with this one. And yeah, maybe it's finally time for me to resample what we tweaked so far. And here the real fun begins. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. In the next video, we can do the basics of composition or whatever you desire. Just let me know in the comments. What would you want to see? See you next time.